Linnet Carty Show. I am so happy to be back with you for the new season, and have we got a show for you today. My first guest today is Miss Mary Taylor, and Mary is a dancer, a singer, a songwriter, an actress, and a playwright. And mostly, I know her because she's my Zumba instructor, and for those of you out there who are quivering in your seats, you know that she also does this thing called insanity. So welcome, Mary Taylor. Here. So before we start talking about From the Boat to Obama, which is the fabulous play that you wrote that's going to debut again for its third year at the Bushnell, tell the folks a little bit about what you do and how you do it.
About my life? What
yes,
I do?
yes.
Let me see.
With the singing, the songwriting, all the good stuff, the recent play that really, I want to ask you about that recent play that just happened at the Wadsworth.
That was fabulous.
What was the name of that?
Everything I Missed at Home Part 3.
Okay.
Everything I Missed at Home Part 3. I backstage direct and assisted the writer-director throughout the production, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, it was good.
It was wonderful.
Absolutely good. Folks can see a couple of pictures there from the play. So let's talk about what inspired you to write From the Boat to Obama.
Well, I love history. And I felt that the schools weren't getting enough history, so I sat down one day and decided that if the school is not going to do it, I'll do it.
Right, so our kids are lacking in African American history.
Exactly.
And so you kind of did a chronological series of a combination of skits and songs, etc. So tell folks a little bit more about it, the meat of it.
It takes you on a journey. And this year, which is actually our 5th year,
okay,
at the Bushnell Theater, this year is talking about Africa before slavery, because a lot of people think that when we were there that we all lived out in the bush, and we did not. We owned Africa, all the gold, the silver, the mining, the pearls. We owned it, and we were kings and queens, and we had beautiful villages, and we dressed in the best silk, and that's never told in history books. So I decided that I'd tell it because it's my story.
Exactly. So let's pause here for a moment and let's take a quick view of the clip of last year's From the Boat to Obama.
Make sure you check them for Saul's broken bones. Don't forget about the big and strong.
Yeah, say African men, big and strong.
Welcome back. Wasn't that fabulous? And you talk a little bit about those two scenes that we just saw, the one with Josh and the other two men who were gathering slaves, about to?
That was the scene where they're just being captured, okay? And we are going to be dragged away from our homeland.
Yes.
And that's painful. And you just have to come and see the play to understand it and feel the emotions that's running through the cast, because we actually take ourselves there.
Exactly. All right, now we're going to take another quick look at the dancers. The dancers are amazing. You have several dancers, and they are led by Mr. Hankey?
Stephen Hankey. He is a professor at the University of Hartford. He teaches ballet there. He also teaches at CCSU. He's a full-time instructor at the Performing Arts in New Haven. He is with us, and I'm loving every minute of it.
He is. He's phenomenal. So don't take our word for it. Take a quick peek. Here we go. Thank you. Oh my gosh, they were amazing. They're amazing.
They make you want to dance.
They do make you want to dance. Made me want to dance. After going to watch the play, I begged you, please, can I be a part of it? So I'm actually in the play this year. I am so excited to be a part of the production, and I played several parts. So
Yes.
if you miss me in one, you'll see me in another. So tell us when the play is going to air, debut.
The play is May 21st, and there's a 10 a.m. show, 12 noon show, and the 7 p.m. show is when everybody can come to that one. The 10 and the 12 is geared towards the school, and we're pretty much sold out on that. But if you call the Bushnell, you can find out if there are any seats left in those two time zones.
Yes. So any little actors or actresses you would like to talk about before we wrap up this segment? You have so many talented young people in this play.
Yes, this year we stepped out and did some auditioning, and we got some replies that was just phenomenal. The young lady, Alex, that understudies for Bones is just, oh my God, she just eat it up because that's her.
Yes.
She told me she's going to get an Oscar.
Yes.
So I had to audition her when she sent me that letter that, this is who I am. And we have the phenomenal little Barack Obama that will be flying in from Arizona. He'll be here on May 9th to start rehearsal.
He's a cutie
And
pie.
you have to see him. I don't know how he can look like President Obama, but he does. And he speaks like him, and all his gestures are him. And wow, you have to come to the play.
Yeah, you have to come to the play. So May 21st at the Bushnell. We hope to see you there. Thank you so much, Miss Mary Taylor.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. And what you're going to see coming up next is the 40th anniversary celebration of the Inquiring Newspaper Group. You will get to see a short clip from the governor, Daniel P. Malloy, Hartford's mayor, Pedro Segarra, and of course, the editor-in-chief and publisher, Reggie Hales. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you, Jocelyn. We are so proud to have the head of our state here, Governor Daniel Malloy. Well, Governor Malloy, the folks in the room have been waiting for you. And they wanted me to ask you a few things. So I decided to shorten the list to only these three. The request in the room was no more taxes or lower taxes. Am I right? No more taxes or lower taxes. More jobs. And my personal favorite, shorter lines at the DMV. Please put your hands together for the balancing backbone of this state. He has no bark or no bite. He is bona fide, brotherly, and bold. He's known to blazon the trail. So brace yourself for this busy, brainy, butter voice, baritone, the one and only Governor Daniel Malloy.
I can assure you I have never been described that way. Nor did I know what I was walking into. It's great to be with everybody. Great to be with everyone up here at the front. I work with these folks on an ongoing basis to try to make the state a better place. If you think about that we're trying to make the state a better place, that's what this vote means, as well as, and because I see the Lieutenant Governor here, the best implementation of Obamacare in the nation is taking place in Connecticut, where it's possible we'll even double our goal for signing. And that's because of her work as Lieutenant Governor. All of these things have been advocated for. All of these things have been written about. All of these things have been talked about as a result of the folks here in this room. So I have to tell you that, I'm a lot older than 40. And yet I'm proud to celebrate a 40th birthday with respect to this wonderful institution. One of the things that governors get to do in the legislature can't stop me is to give an official statement. Whereas Inquiring News is the largest African-American newspaper organization in southern New England, And whereas Inquiring News is dedicated to capturing and reporting the African American experience in Southern New England. And whereas by allowing local businesses to advertise in their newspaper, Inquiring News helps increase sales to African American residents and by African American businesses. And whereas for 4 decades, Inquiring News has diligently provided news of interest that is often unavailable elsewhere to African American readers. And whereas by reporting on news ranging from marriages to births, community events, and job promotion, Inquiring News reaches out to a wide variety of reader interests. And whereas I applaud Inquiring News for their 40 years of faithful service to Western Massachusetts and the state of Connecticut, and wish you continued success. Now, therefore, I, Daniel P. Malloy, Governor of the state of Connecticut, do hereby honor and recognize Inquiring News in the state of Connecticut. Congratulations. All right. Yeah, are you allowed to use these balls during the day?
This picture here, and this is my father. This is former Governor Olga. Back in the late 70s, early...
Who is this young guy?
I'm getting to
I know.
Governor, I just want to say that we welcome you, we appreciate you and your leadership. Sometime I wonder if you're in the storm coming.
Well, we'll see on Monday.
As soon as you took office, you had to do with storms. But more importantly, I sat in that chair for you.
Yeah, there you go. Let me tell you, you've also aged better than I have. Great to be with you. Everybody have a great day, okay? Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Please give another round of applause for our governor and the mayor. Our next speaker is all about early childhood education, and she and I, when we see each other, are always sharing little kids' stories. So Nancy, I have one for you today. My niece, Candace, is 5, and her brother is 6. Her brother's birthday is in April, so for his 6th birthday, we bought a cake, and my sister and her husband and family gathered, and we put the candles on, and so he gets up to blow out the candles. And so she kind of leans up over the table to blow out the candles with him. And my sister pulls her back and says, no, it's Blake's birthday, he's got to make the wish, he's got to blow out his candles. And so she's a little put off by it, but she lets him do it. When Blake blows out the candles, just a little bit of spit hits the edge of the cake. So Candace loses it. I'm not eating the cake, he spit on the cake, I don't want any of that cake. So we calmed her down, he's gonna eat that piece. And then we went right there, and we're gonna cut pieces for everybody else from the rest of the cake. So here comes her birthday now in June. So we're in the mall, and we're trying to pick out a cake for her because all her little kindergarten friends are gonna come, and I don't want a cake. Then would you have to have a cake? I don't want a cake. Oh, you're having a party, your friends are coming, you need to have a cake. She says, well, then I want cupcakes. And we're like, why do you want cupcakes? She says, I want everybody to blow their own candle and eat their own spit. Please put your hands together for our Lieutenant Governor, Nancy Ryan.
Great, Linnet. Thank you very, very much. That's really super. And so I got to start out with a kid story, right? So I have a grandson. And he was like 7 years old, and he was standing next to me. This was only last year. And we were away for my husband's birthday. And he said, I said, hey, Max, are you going to invite Grandma to your wedding? And he said, Grandma, you're going to be dead. My daughter got very upset. She said, My grandparents were at the wedding. Well, Grandma, if you can make it, you can come. Out of the mouths of babes, right? Well, this is really a wonderful, wonderful ceremony today. And where's Mrs. Hale? There you go. This is the wife. And you know what? No. So you're the wife of the man that started this newspaper, right? Right? Oh, good. I thought you got me nervous then. Oh, I knew it wasn't Reggie's wife. No, God. I threw that right off. I do think we should honor you. Thank you for all the support you've been giving over the years, too. As we thank Reggie and all the people that have worked for this newspaper, thank you forever. And those that, put your ads in, thank you very, very much. A newspaper like this is so very, very important. And of course, I love when the governor gets up here and says, well, I'm over 40. Come on, not as far over 40 as I am. So, I just want to tell you, though, Reggie, you have made a big difference, and your father in our state, because of what you have done. I know it's not always easy to get a newspaper out, but getting the information to people to make their lives better, you have been doing. So you really, in my opinion, have a real hard job. It is a hard job, but you've done it extremely well. Getting into all the communities. We are such a great state. We have such a great diversity in our state, and you have made that stronger for us. So I want to thank you very, very much for inviting me today. I want you to all celebrate, and I really did like that music. I would have been dancing, but the governor was here. Listen, congratulations to all, and thank you very, very much. Anywhere? All right, here we go. I used to do this for a living, but you could cash it then, now you can't. Take care. Bye, everybody. Bye.
I need to know which way to go. It's
American newspapers were formed in order to make a profit, just like any other business. From a social standpoint, these newspapers were a source of pride for the African American community. In the United States today, it is not uncommon for cities to have a variety of newspapers printed in a variety of languages that are aimed at specific racial, ethnic, and religious groups. Because large newspapers tend to cover the news that would be of interest to the majority, and thus not the minority of people, it is easy to see why people of diverse racial and ethnic backgrounds would be interested in hearing about events and people who might see the world through the same cultural lens as themselves. Thank you.
And make a difference. So on behalf of the West Indian Social Club of Hartford, we would like to present this statue, this sculpture, and it reads, "The West Indian Social Club of Hartford, Inc. congratulates Inquiring News on your 40th anniversary. We have not forgotten the tremendous support you have provided to the greater Hartford community over the last 40 years. The officers and members of the West Indian Social Club, February 28, 2008.
Thank you. Whereas it is essential that all citizens of Hartford, Connecticut be aware of the fact that the Inquiring News, its publishers, and journalists are achieving great things through their determination, hard work, and their own ability, which is part of the American dream. And whereas government, city, state, and community partnership, professional competence, public awareness, and cooperation are important themes of the Inquiring News. And whereas this is the 40th year of publication of the Inquiring News, now therefore be it resolved
that I, Pedro Segura, Mayor of the City of Hartford,
along with the Court of Common Council and residents of Hartford,
do hereby proclaim February 28, 2014 as Inquiring News Day in the City of Hartford.
Learned the art and science of business by attending Harvard Business School. He sparkled as the GM at Kodak's Motion Picture Film Group, where he sharpened his business tools. As the VP of Marketing at the Washington Post, he managed everything from advertisements to campaigns that won awards. He set the industry standard for newspaper transformation to web-width format, which till this day could not be ignored. He provides consulting services to digital distribution of motion pictures and overall media, where he is at the helm as president. He's been near and far and to numerous countries abroad, but now he's an East Coast resident. So it is with pride that we welcome the head of the Black Press with warmth in our long-term affiliation. Please join me in welcoming Bill Tompkins, president of the National Newspaper.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is a pleasure to be here, but if you want to know why the Black Press is so important and why this 40th anniversary is so important, the examples that we're setting right in this room today tell the whole story. My first trip here yesterday, I come in here, you meet the governor, the lieutenant governor, the head of the city council, the treasurer, you meet Barbara Fowler, you just go down the list and you meet the power of this state in this room celebrating this man's business. That's what the power of the Black Press is all about. It commands attention, respect, and it brings power here. And I hope that you'll continue leveraging that power when you have those types of relationships with the government, with media, all the TV cameras. Yeah, it was partly because the governor was here, but it was because he was taking the time, and the rest of the elected officials were taking their time to be here today.
So as we wrap the program, it is certainly my pleasure to talk about the man who has been my boss for many years. He was born with not just a silver spoon, but with a pen and a pad and a code of ethics. Our editor was raised to work the beat, from breaking news to the bylines. At the knees of his father, William Hales, he captioned, copied, covered, and circulated, meeting every deadline. Off the record, this family man, beautiful wife Donna, and his 2 children, where are you guys? Please stand and wave. And his grandbabies, where's Latana back there? He's an early riser and exclusively dedicated to his craft. With each edition that is formatted, proofed, pressed, and put to bed, you can quote me on this scoop. He is already working on the next issue. Carrying on the rich legacy of his father and making each Wednesday our news day, please pound your palms passionately for Reggie Hales.
First of all, I want to thank God and my family. And there's one message I want to leave us here today with. And I remember back watching the news about the 60s and the civil rights movements and riots and things of that nature. And what I tried to instill in my children and to the next generation is how important it is to never forget where you come from. Because some of us have, of which we've documented, have risen to the top and have come stumbling down. because they forgot where they came from. So as I struggled to figure out how I'm going to artistically put this paper together this week, I was at a loss because I had no idea. But because I was raised to have faith and spirit, I left it up to the last minute to just see how the Spirit affected me to communicate this message. And what you see, and I hope everyone has this week's paper at their table, but what you see in that quote is a result of letting the Spirit guide me to put my heart and soul into this paper. And I would not be here today if it wasn't for my lovely mother. I would not have a career if it wasn't for my father. And I would not be the man I am today if I didn't have those priceless moments of being able to put my head down on the breast of my mother.
Thank you so much for watching the show. I want to thank my guest from earlier, Miss Mary Taylor. And for you, thank you so much for watching. I want to give a quick shout out to my crew, Miguel, Armando, and Chen. Thank you so much for helping me put this together. And I look forward to seeing you all on the next program. I'm Linnet Carty, and we'll see you next time. And remember, we love you more than we love food.